Hello everyone, welcome back to the Football Overseas. I hope you are doing well. I am Dequan. I'm going to talk about Italian football, predict game week 37. But there has been interesting developments in Italian football, to say the least. Sampdoria, who were the Italian champions in 1990 to 1991, that season, they upset the status quo. Now, typically, when you think about Italian football, you think about the big three teams, Juventus and the Milan clubs, Inter and AC to be precise. But then you look at Italian football now, you've got Napoli, Atalanta, Lazio, Roma. Even you could probably say Bologna, Fiorentina, part of the conversation as well. But the way Sampdoria won that league back in 1991, upsetting the status quo, that legendary Milan team that was, taken over by Silvio Berlusconi. I probably botched that name completely, but that AC Milan team was goated, and for anyone to finish above them and win the league the manner that they did was very impressive as well. So shout out to Sampdoria, and they had a tiny few players there. Gianluca Vialli was one of them. Rest in peace to him. What a legend in terms of Italian football as well. Starting off at Cremonese, moving to Sampdoria, getting 85 goals in 223 appearances, moving to Juventus, then moving to Chelsea, becoming their player manager, winning trophies for them. And then he lined up with Roberto Mancini in a potent strike force, not to mention Lombardo, who would also become Crystal Palace player coach when they was in the Premier League. They had a goalkeeper, Paliluka, and Vir Shawad as their centre half. And Sampdoria, carried on the success and reached the European Cup, which is now known as Champions League final. They lost to Barcelona after extra time. And then Sampdoria they had a gradual slide, fall from grace, I guess. So that was a team playing at its absolute peak, now relegated to the Serie A. Disappointed for Italian football to see Sampdoria drop all the way into Serie A, but hopefully Sampdoria kind of bounce back as well. And also, speaking about Serie A, you have Frosinone and Salernitana, who both featured in Serie A last season. One of those teams are going to be back-to-back relegated again. That is not a good look for Italian football. But good news is that Serie B regular season has finished with Sassuolo bouncing straight back into Serie A, because as Serie B champions, and also Pisa make their return to Serie A after a long time out. So shout out to Pisa as well. Also, we have the playoffs, quarterfinals as well. We've got Juve Stabia, who are going for a back-to-back promotion into Serie A. Would be remarkable if they could do that. They take on the losing finalists from last season, Palermo, who are looking to get back into Serie A after quite a while out. They had to reform Serie D, come all the way, and it would be remarkable if Palermo could finally go one better, get promoted. They're also owned by the City Football Group as well, people. For those that didn't know, well, you now know. Also, another team going for a back-to-back promotion is Cesena, winning their Serie C, League B. Teams in and around Rome, in Middle Italy, Juve Stabia are from Southern Italy, so League C. They won that league. Teams from Southern Italy. Cesena going for back-to-back promotion. They have got a big ask against Catanzaro, who don't know when they are beaten. They have 20 draws. Catanzaro are the draw specialist and got a big ask to do heading to Southern Italy. Whoever wins those matches await Spezia and Cremonese, who automatically qualified for the semi-finals. And we will see how these playoffs take place. Which team will join Sassuolo and Pisa? Which team could be playing the champions-elect Napoli? But back onto Serie A. I know that's what you people have come for. Do you know what I'm saying? So we recap the fixtures from last week. And I must say, my predictions kind of failed. But once again, it's always good to be bold, brave, and sometimes you may not get what you want. So here we go. We only got 3 results, 1 exact result, and that came from Venezia versus Fiorentina. I knew those guys would win 2-1, and they did win 2-1. Shout out Venezia for making the relegation battle really, really interesting. That's it. Going on to the predictions now. There's no Friday game. There's only 1 Saturday game, and most of the games are on Sunday. So let's dive straight into this one. Genoa versus Atalanta. Atalanta, well done Atalanta beating Roma. They qualify for the Champions League once again. They are confirmed to finish in 3rd position with Inter battling Napoli for the league. Genoa, they got a 2-2 draw against my club. But Brook Norton Coffee, former Gouda there. You know, Pinamonti. But I must say, the goalkeeper, Benjamin, I have no idea who he is. Because he was benched before that. And then he came through. And then he put on a goalkeeper performance, 8 saves. I mean, that was his first match. That was his first match. Because he played in Romania. He used to be former Celtic keeper. He played in Romania. Moved on loan there. Maybe, who knows? Maybe that performance might entice Genoa to get him on a permanent. If there is a permanent clause. Or, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure now. But, Genoa, Patrick Vieira. You know, I was thinking, what a Genoa. And then I realised, Patrick Vieira's manager. And I'm like, okay now. He's Arsenal legend. I'm not going to say much, but Genoa? Really? Yeah. I mean, Patrick Vieira cooked with a goalkeeper. He cooked with a goalkeeper there, so. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, doing well with injuries. Miretti, Mataro, Malvinoski out as well. Atalanta long-term injuries as well, but Atalanta did their thing. And I think I can't even lie. I can't lie. Why do I see a draw in this game by Genoa? I mean, I'm gonna predict a draw in this game because Atalanta can't finish higher than 3rd. They can't finish lower than 3rd. I'm gonna say 2-2. I'm gonna say 2-2. Cagliari versus Venezia. Cagliari only need a point mathematically to be safe, but they might not need that point. So who knows what could happen in this game. Cagliari versus Venezia. Venezia coming off that 2-1 victory against Fiorentina. Moving away, climbing out of the relegation zone. Big up to them. They've done this despite all the injuries and doubts that they have as well. This man's crucial to their plans as well. So big up to Venezia for putting in a performance and trying to stay afloat in the Serie A. Respect that. And you know what? I like Venezia, you know. I reckon they do it again. I reckon they do it again. I can't lie to you, man. I reckon they do it again because Venezia, they might have peaked at the right time. Performances have improved in the last 5 games. They've only lost to AC Milan, but you can understand why they lost to AC Milan. A lot of pressure on AC Milan right now. Scudetto is leaving Milan, so that's going to be very interesting. How we predict Roma versus Milan. But yeah, Venezia 2-1. Fiorentina versus Bologna. Shout out to Bologna. Coppa Italia winners. Vincenzo Italiano wins a trophy in phase 1. He didn't need 800 million. He didn't need a dog. He didn't need light bulbs. Doesn't need lemons. He doesn't need all this nonsense. You know, and how is it Bologna winning the trophy after selling Calafiori and Joshua Zirkzee? Yeah. Yeah. Again, you just can't make it up. You just can't make it up. Here we are. But you know, Fiorentina, they've got to win this game in order to make Europe. But the way Bologna played against AC Milan in the cup final, fully deserved to win that game. They were the team that wanted it more. And hearsay, man, hearsay. I think, but yep, Fiorentina, be a draw. Bologna know that they're in Europe, regardless. Fiorentina, it's more pressure in Fiorentina to win. I feel like Fiorentina are going to bounce back. Or maybe it's the right time to actually play them. But I think Fiorentina need a statement. I don't think they're going to win. I think Fiorentina are going to draw 1-1. Bologna are going to draw 1-0, I should say. So, Verona versus Como. Como could get a top half finish. And I tell you what, you don't want to be playing Como right now. You don't want to be playing Como. Because I'm telling you, Fabregas has done an incredible job there as well, man. Big up to Fabregas as well. That was a player that I loved. And I can't lie to you, man. Como, yep. That's going to be their 7th win on the spin. I think they're going to win 2-0. All right. Inter versus Lazio. I look at this game and I think the league could be won this week, but I don't think it's going to be won this week. I think Inter, yes, Lazio will not get battered. They will look, they need to restore some pride after losing 6-0 at home, which was an absolutely terrible, shocking result to lose 6-0 at home to a team that you kind of want to take down, you know, at the time, Inter. Inzaghi destroyed his former club. Absolutely destroyed them. But what tips the scale? I was feeling, oh no, Lazio could maybe stop Inter. I don't think they're going to stop Inter. Zagliani suspended. Ixerson as well, also out. Ravella is a doubt. Yeah. But yeah, he should be back enough to play. But yeah, you could see this Lazio team need Zagliani there, man. He's just so crucial to their integral parts of, you know, especially, you know, Zagliani, he would have engaged Darmian there potentially. But yeah, I think Inter, they're going to take this match 1-0. They're going to take the title race to the final day. Juventus versus Udinese. Yes, I'm simply going to back a Juventus win. Let me not spend too much time dwelling on this. Do you know what I'm saying? Although Juventus, they did lose 1-0 to Udinese, Juventus, they are going to make that back. They're going to make that back. And I think Juventus, they're going to win. Juventus, they're going to win 2-0. 2-0. 2-0 to Juventus. Lecce versus Torino. This is a pivotal match at the foot of the table. Lecce need to win a game. They need to win. But here's the thing. We've been saying that almost every single week when it came to Lecce. And they didn't win. So it's a case of like, are they even going to win again? Are they even going to win again? Like, because these guys are really struggling. I can't see where Lecce are gonna do anything. Maybe the game might finish 1-1 or 0-0, but I don't think Lecce are gonna do anything. It's just so unfortunate. Struggling. Here's another pivotal match. So Lecce Torino is gonna end the draw. Monza versus Empoli as well. This is a pivotal match. Empoli could climb out the relegation zone if they secure a back-to-back win as well. If they can secure it, then they climb out the relegation zone potentially. But if they don't, it looks like they could be potentially relegated if Venezia win. That's damage. If Monza win and Venezia win, Empoli are gone. And that could be the same with Lecce as well. So relegation could be done. I don't want to see relegation done. I'm just going to predict another draw. You get me. You get me. See what I'm saying? Keep the relegation race alive. Parma versus Napoli. Dropped points at home. Disappointed to drop points at home to Genoa. Can Napoli respond? That's the biggest question I have to say. And looking at it, goalkeeper for Parma, Suzuki, Japanese. He's actually decent. Parma have got a little tiny team. Boni, Valeri, Prato, Hernani. But we got to trust our guys. Valtini is suspended for them. Parma have got a truckload of injuries, so I'd expect Napoli to get it done, even with the loss of Lubovka and Oliveira potentially being a doubt. But he could play that in the 5 at the back system. We retain it with Billy Gilmore coming in for Lubovka as well. Lukaku, Raspadori, those two should start as well. Why would we drop Raspadori? He's been scoring goals. He's been scoring goals for us. Against Genoa, against Lecce, score goals. Napoli, come on now. Don't let up. Don't let up. You need to have the advantage. This is a big opportunity for Napoli to win the league this season, for Conte to realise his vision and be that serial winner that he is. Because I know Conte. For me, he's not a finished manager. It's just Tottenham. You guys see it. You guys are seeing where the problem is. And Napoli, I think Napoli are going to win 3-1. 3-1. There we go. 3-1. Boomer. Do you know what the most craziest thing is when I come on to the final game? The fact that Roma could still qualify for the Champions League. The fact that Milan could still qualify for Europe still. Even though it's unlikely because they've got to go to Roma and they've got to go beat them. And Roma have lost, which means Ranieri's task. I think Roma can get the job done. Look at their team. You would back them to get results. Mateus Sul, playing right wing back, doing his thing. Angelino bombing it down the other flank as well. Dobrek. I think Dobrek chips in the goal here and there. Cristante back in the fold as well. Gianluca Bacchini, Evan Ndika as well. Kone, proper player, man. Then you got AC Milan. We already know what they were on. Mangan, Rangers, Teo Hernandez, Leal, Pulisic, Jimenez. Roma's injuries: Dybala, Pellegrini, Sangare, Paredes is a doubt. And Teo Hernandez is a doubt, but he should be back to play. I think Roma gonna win this game 2-1. So yes, guys, subscribe, like, peace, see you later.